Hey, everybody. Welcome back to After the Island. I'm Elizabeth.
I'm Alex.
And we have Bella with us today. Welcome.
Hey. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be here and so excited to talk to you guys.
Thank you for coming on. We have so many questions for you.
And I have so many answers.
I feel like one of the first things we love to ask people that come on our podcast is, how were you casted for the show? Did you apply? Were you found on Instagram? What did that look like for you?
Yeah, so I followed a bunch of like casting people, and I think his name was Ian. I saw on his story he posted like a last call for like applications for Love Island USA. And I was like, oh, you know what? Like, fuck it. We're gonna go for it. We'll fill it out, see what happens. You know, if it's meant to happen, it'll happen. And here I am. Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of interviews, and it was a whole process, but it was an amazing one, and I'm super grateful that I got the call that day saying, yeah, hey, you're coming out, like, we're excited to have you. And I cried. It was crazy. So yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love that. That's actually so cute. I did cry. I cried too.
Yeah. Aw.
So how did you feel about being a bombshell and going into Casa Amor? Were you prepared for it? Were you nervous? Did you have your eye on anyone?
Yeah, so I definitely, it was a big waiting game of, when am I going to go in? What's going to happen? I had a feeling because, obviously we see all the episodes beforehand, and I, knew what was going on. And I had like a slight feeling. I was like, maybe I'm in Casa Amor, but I don't know. Like, then I got the call, obviously, and they told me, and I was like, me? Like, I was like super shocked because obviously, Casa Amor girls, they're outgoing, they're, cutthroat, they want to take the men, all this stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm not like that. Like, I'm just very, I'm outgoing, I'm bubbly, I'm a whatever happens, easygoing type of girl. And I, genuinely really was looking for love going in there. And I met the other girls, and we were all just on the same page of what we wanted. And the entire experience in there was just, unreal. And if I could go back and do it all again, I would. So
it's so interesting to hear from the Casa girls because it's such a different experience.
Completely.
And then you got to go into the villa too. So like you got the best of both worlds. But who did you have your eye on going in?
Going in, I'm not gonna lie, I had, let me see, like Isaiah, but like everyone and their mother like had their eye on Isaiah.
I know.
Jared, I had my eye on him. Bryce, I had my eye on him, but unfortunately he was eliminated literally like I think night before Casa happened. Who else? Chazz was up there for sure. And just like walking in and seeing them in person, it's like it's surreal because they're all way better looking in person. Like TV, just like they look good on TV, but it just doesn't do them justice as seeing them in person. But you can't lie, they're all very, very attractive men. Good job, producers.
Was there anyone that you watched throughout waiting to go in that you would have been interested in if they were in Casa?
I'd had, my eyes on a few people for a little bit. I'd say Andy caught my eye, Felipe and Bryce were all up there for me.
Wow.
Bryce and Felipe.
Yeah.
I could see Felipe.
I could too.
I could see Felipe with literally anyone. He's so hot.
That's so funny. Yeah, he's very good looking. Even my family, when I came home, they were like, we love Felipe. I was like, oh my God.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So when you went into Casa, we didn't see much of you until the end. So were you having a connection with anyone that we might just not have seen? Who were you vibing with when you got in there immediately?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I was kind of just like bopping around, doing my own thing. I kind of gave like everybody a chance for good conversation. I spoke with Timmy. Obviously, you see that I shared a bed with him. But in reality, we were like homies. Like, I'm like, this guy's like, he's a friend, and he's just like such a great human being. Jesse too, like my first conversation with Jesse, like I would always go up to Jesse and be like, hey, Jesse, from like the Disney Channel show.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's amazing and like totally not how I like would expect him to be. But but he's great. And I was like, yeah, he's a friend, like right away. I did have a really good conversation with Jared. We were sitting at the pool. They didn't put it in, but I did connect with Jared really, really well. I just think that Shawnce probably had maybe a longer and better conversation, obviously, with him than I did. And yeah, me and Chazz actually spoke a couple of times before they showed, our conversation on the couch. We were both wearing our like all white outfits and stuff like that. But yeah, we did, connect, me and Chazz. I would notice the way, like, him looking at me. Sometimes he would like be touchy, and I was like, okay, but he was with like Gabby a lot, so I was like, all right, I kind of like overlooked it in a sense. And then that night we kind of just started talking, and then he was like, let's just go for a chat. And I was like, okay. And then that's when the whole conversation happened, and we were on the couch for a really long time. It was a really long convo. So yeah, it's kind of like what led up to that, I guess.
What was it like talking to Gabby about everything with Chazz after she had just, spent the night in the hideaway with him, and then now you guys are exploring things? Was it uncomfortable, or was it not weird?
Yeah, surprisingly, it actually really wasn't weird. The second me and Chazz were done talking, I did pull Gabby. They don't show it, but we had a really good conversation. She was like totally fine with it. She's like, listen, at the end of the day, look at where we are, look at the environment that we're in. This is what we're here for. We're here to explore connections and, our different options and see what mold fits for us. So she was like, yeah, I mean, by all means, go for it. See how it goes. Let me know. And yeah, I'd say, it was like a good 50-50 rank between me and Gabby, but there was like no hard feelings. Me and Gabby are so good. She's like the best person ever, like so beautiful and like the sweetest human being. So it's no hard feelings, and everything like went over smoothly.
How did Gabby handle the situation when Chazz decided to go all in on you? Was she just cool with it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously before like the, Casa Recoupling, we were all sitting and we were just like, how's everyone feeling? What are we thinking? And me and Gabby looked at each other and we were like, we have no idea like who he could pick. Cause at that point we kind of, we both shared a bed with him. We both had conversations with him. So it was pretty 50-50. Like, we weren't sure. But I told her, I'm like, at the end of the day, if he picks you, I'm going to be happy for you regardless. And she was like, no, I feel the exact same way, because we both said like, we're going to treat him the way that he deserves to be treated. And that was that. We were both like confident, in each other getting to be with him. And, yeah, so that was that. And, obviously I got picked. And after the fact, I was with Gabby and she was like, I'm so happy for you, hugging me. No one cried. It was all like it was a great goodbye. It was a great send off. And yeah, we were just happy for each other.
I always wonder what that's like, since they don't air it. And we don't get to see what happens to the Casa girls not picked that just end up going home from there.
It's like set. They just like pack their bags and they're out. That's 30 minutes and that's it. Yeah.
It's like nuts. You mentioned, you guys were all just hanging out in your swimsuits when they did it too. Like no one's dressed up.
No one is. Like, I'm wearing my fedora. They're like, yep, we're doing the recoupling. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, so no shower. That's fine. I'll just
not the fedora.
I'll just go home in my fedora.
I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I'll with my pigtails and
stop.
I'm like, what am I to do? It's fine. But yeah.
It's just you and your fedora.
Me and my hat. Chilling.
Were you intimidated walking into the villa for the recoupling of Casa Amor?
Like, that must have been crazy knowing you're going to be one of the first people. You two were the first actually walking in to see all the girls.
Oh my God.
That catwalk is 80 feet long or something.
I felt like it was 9 years long and I was just never going to get to the end of it. It was like, it just kept getting longer with each step I took. I'm like, can we get there? Yeah, no, it was nuts. I mean, I remember like sitting in the van with Chazz and Isaiah and Phoebe and Jesse, and we all were just like, what the fuck is, like, what are we doing? Like, we were just like, what is happening? And I was just like freaking out, but Chazz has like a very calming presence to him. And he just made me feel like very comfortable, very safe. I mean, like you said, we went first. So, walking out, I was like shitting bricks. I'm like, what is, like, you just feel eyes like burning into you. I'm like, we're going into the shark infested waters right now. Like, it's nuts. I mean, if looks could kill, I think I would have been like splayed out dead on the floor. But as time, by the second day, everyone was warmed up and the tensions were, they went down. And just like I will never forget that feeling. Like, it's just a very surreal feeling.
So I can't imagine. I
So
literally
we're-
can't imagine.
Yeah, no. I would be like, whoa. I'd be scared. I'd be scared. So speaking of being like scared, did you did warm up quickly to the OG girls? Did they warm up quickly to you? What was that kind of like connecting with everyone in the villa once you were there?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was like we finished the recoupling and it was like me, Phoebe, and Shantae, everyone like dispersed, did their own thing, like knew where they were going, and we were all just like,
Hi.
what now? Like, we're like, what do we do? Like, I remember we didn't have dinner that night, so we were all like so hungry, and we're like, should we like get a snack? Like, are they going to be mad if we take cheese sticks from the fridge? Like, how are they going to feel? Like, this is their territory. I remember like they told us like, all right, yeah, like you guys can get ready for bed. And I was like, where do I go? I was like, where's the bathroom? Where's this? Where's that? I'm like, I don't want to ask anybody because like, I don't know if they're going to be like rude to me. I remember like walking in the dressing room and it was just Zeta in there. And I was like, hi, Zeta. I'm Bella. And she was like, oh, hello. Like, she was just like so nice right off the bat. Like, so like warm and welcoming. She was like, I know it like seems like intimidating, but like, we're not intimidating birds. Like, and I was like, okay, good. Yeah. Like, and everyone's beds were just like separate. I remember like me and Chazz were in like the foyer. Like,
Yes.
it was like
You guys were like by the front door. We were
by
like
the front door. I remember like we stayed up. Chazz was like, I'm gonna go make Fruity Pebbles. Like, you want some? I was just like,
Fruity Pebbles.
I guess. Like,
you're
I don't
like,
know.
where am I?
I'm like, what is going on? Like, I just couldn't, like, we were just, the neon lights came on. We were watching the sunrise because by then it was like 5 a.m. It was like so crazy. But to like not be in like the actual bedroom the first night, I was like, this is nuts. But yeah, I mean, by the next day, like we were just all talking with the OG girls. They were asking us like, things that went down at Casa. We were just talking about our lives, what we do. And yeah, it was like, it was fine. They accepted us. But yeah, I mean, I'm like very grateful that, everyone was just like very nice and welcoming.
Did you get to eventually go into the bedroom?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I got the bed, my dresser at the end of the bed. I was like, this is sick.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, it
You're
was
like,
nice.
this is the sickest thing that's ever happened to me.
Oh yeah, like second night in, I'm like, I went into the bedroom to get something and I saw the bed and I was like, like, yes, I made it, Mom. Like, I got the bed. But yeah.
I love that because the bedroom is like where everyone just is goofing off and having fun and everyone's just playing around. Like, it's like a big sleepover, Elizabeth always says. It's like a sleepover with all your best friends, but you don't know each other and you're just acting like your best friends.
I like love that part of everything. I also want to hear from you a little bit about I don't know if it was really a triangle, but I mean, kind of between you, Chazz, and Phoebe and how all of that transpired.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, going in, I'm like, oh, this is cool. I'm in a couple, obviously. It's nice. We're getting to know each other. And I think like Isaiah and Phoebe kind of like ended their thing. And Phoebe pulled me aside and we had a talk. And it wasn't shown in the show, but she was explaining to me, I like might feel something for Chazz. I might have a connection with him. And I don't know if it's because we were like, friends in Casa and I like barely really got to talk to him on that level. And she was like, but I was, wanted to pull you aside. I would like to pull him for a chat and see how it goes. And I was like, hey, listen, I mean, at the end of the day, look at where we are, look at what we're doing. This is, it's not like a normal environment setting. And like, we're here to, see our options, find our mold, see what fits. And me personally, I was like, I don't want to leave here with any regrets. I don't want to leave here being like, fuck, I wish I spoke to this person. I wish I said this to this person. So I was like, listen, if that's what you want to do, go for it. I'm like, all I ask, just, like keep me in the loop and let me know what goes on like between you guys. And she was like, yeah, of course. And that was that conversation. Then she pulled Chazz for the talk. They went in the tree house, and while they were doing that, I was just in the pool doing Spongebob impersonations, and that was my time.
Can we hear one?
Yeah. What?
I said, can we hear one?
Oh, I did. What were we doing? The Doodle Bob one where he's like, you Doodle, me SpongeBob, and they were like all dying. It was like me, Jared, like everyone was like, cool. And they were like laughing. We were just all going back and forth, like doing things.
Oh my god!
But yeah, I don't know if they'll show that, but it was great.
Maybe in the unseen bits.
I hope. I'm like praying for it. It was funny.
When Phoebe and Chazz started their little fling-a-ling,
Mm-hmm.
did you feel like you were kind of alone in there, or were you turned off? Were you ready for a new connection? Or what were your feelings towards Chazz at that point?
I never heard from him. Like, he
Mm-hmm.
never pulled me aside. Like, there was one day where he pulled both Phoebe and Shawnce, and I didn't get to talk to him for the whole day. And I was like, interesting. But yeah, so I never got like word from him about anything. I mean, Phoebe pulled me aside and told me how their conversation went. And I knew that from her side, but from his perspective, I knew nothing about where he stood. And I remember like the night when, like Joel came in, I found out that like Shawnce was attracted to him and she was talking to him and he was telling her stuff too. And he was telling me, Shawnce and Phoebe, like all the same things. And I was like, what is going on? Like, what is happening? Like, and he's not telling me anything. So I remember that night, like when we were sitting by the fire pit, like for the whatever was going to happen with Kat and Sydney, the singles and whoever was going to be coming in possibly. I remember I didn't even get to chat with him yet, and he had his arm around me, and I was just like this, like at the fire pit, because I was like mad. I'm like, what is going on? Like, am I being played? Like, is he, just playing the field and not telling me? Is he gonna go for somebody else and just be like, yeah, like I'll just wash Bella out? But we did obviously end up having a talk that night, and I, you heard what I said. If you're feeling something more with somebody else, let me know. I don't want to look stupid. But yeah, and then obviously, that same night, him and Phoebe shared the kiss, and she pulled me right away to tell me. And as she's talking to me, you just see Chazz like running to tell me about it, and I'm like, yeah, I already know. Like, you don't need to.
Oh my God,
we don't need to go for a talk. Like, I already know, and that's just that. But
oh my gosh, so did you guys talk at when he ran to you, or did you literally say no? Like, I already know.
No, I didn't talk. I was like, no, I already know.
Oh my God, I love that.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, I was just like, no, like we're not going for it.
Yeah, give it right back.
Yeah, I already know. And then at that point, I think Joel had finished his conversation with Nadja, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go talk to Joel now. Bye. And I walked away to go.
I love it.
Right in front of his face.
Right in front of him. Yeah.
And then we cut to the next morning where we have Chazz confessing to Timmy that he is, all in with you, wants to tell you this, is like, how do I tell her? He's practicing. Right. Meanwhile, you're having, another one of your conversations with Joel. Yeah. You guys share a couple kisses. It was cut fabulously. But what was that like?
Yeah, like watching that back, I was like, oh, they know what they're doing.
Oh, it was hilarious.
So funny. But yeah, I mean, Joel pulled me for a chat that day. Obviously, I was the last one out of all the girls that he spoke to that day. Because I pulled him first the night before. I was just like, if he wants to, come up to me, he'll come up to me. That's what he did. And the conversation, it was another like really long one. It was a good one. And when we kissed, I definitely felt like a spark, a connection. I was like, damn, I crushing on this boy for sure. But yeah, I obviously had no idea that Chazz had that conversation with Timmy until I watched it back. And yeah, I mean, I definitely wanted to pull Chazz aside right after, the kiss happened, let him know everything. But, then I got pulled with Shawnce, and then the challenge happened, and I was like, oh no. And then unfortunately, unfortunately, that's how it came out to him that
it was Joel. It was so funny when you went up to Shawnce and you were like, I kissed him. And you were like, shh, literally no one knows. And then the challenge hits and he just goes right out there and says it. How did that feel? Like, did you want to die?
It was so funny.
Yeah, it was nuts. I mean, I will say it was very nice to be proposed to twice. Very flattering on my end. I was like, oh, this is nice. But yeah, I mean, when he said it, I was like I wanted to be like happy, but at the same time, I was like trying to see like what their reactions were like. And you look back, you see Timmy like he's just like, what? Yeah, it was nuts. Then I was just like, fuck, I don't want to be like portrayed that I just like did something, because I didn't want him to think I did it out of like pettiness because he kissed Phoebe. Like, I didn't want that, and that's just not the person that I am. So I mean, of course, like that night you see me, pulling for the chat, and I say like, hey, X, Y, and Z. I didn't want, it to come out like that. And I like, never want you to feel that I'm doing anything in a malicious, backstabbing way. And I did want to tell you, I tried pulling you, but things happened. We had things that we had to do. And he was like completely understanding. He was like, yeah, no, he's like, I know you're a genuine person, Bella. Like, I knew you would try to tell me and stuff like that. And he's like, hey, I mean, it is what it is in a way. And we just, conversation was really good. And he was completely understanding about the whole thing. So that I'm grateful for, that he doesn't hate my guts. So
oh my gosh,
I really, no, you did not come across that way at all. At least as to us as viewers, I think everyone was like, yes, like Bella is kissing some other man. Like everyone was very excited. And
okay.
The challenge thing was funny. Like, I don't think anyone saw it as you trying to be malicious. We were like, she's just getting it.
Yeah, she's thriving.
Yeah, you were thriving.
And then it was crazy watching the it wasn't a recoupling, it was
a dumping.
Just like a dumping, I guess. Yeah. And Joel was in tears.
Yeah, I was shocked by that reaction, honestly. I like couldn't even believe it. I mean, of course, I was like the most emotional out of everybody, just like sobbing. I think because it came so out of left field for me. I like didn't really know what to expect when Sarah walked in. Like, I just remember like seeing the lights go up and I was talking to Joel and Joel just going, oh shit, and me turning around and like seeing her walk in. And I was like, why are you here? Like, it was nuts. But yeah, standing up there, like, and we would like lock eyes, me and him, and I would just be like, I think I like knew in my heart, like it was just, I was going home. I was like praying to God. I'm like, please don't send me home. Like, don't do it to me. I'm like, don't do it to me, please. But yeah, I knew when she said America was voting, I was like,
yeah, that was going to be my question.
But yeah, when we hug, he's like kissing me and we were both crying and he's like, it's not fair. It's just no fair. Why do you have to leave?
It's crazy because if it was a recoupling and he got to like choose someone to couple up with, he would have picked you. Is the impression I'm getting.
Yeah, wow, I did have a talk with him that same night too, like before the whole thing happened. And I said to him, like, I don't know if you're on the same page as me, but I'm like really feeling it for you. And I would like to see where like, this with us could go. And I definitely like feel something when we kiss. And I enjoyed, your proposal and the challenge today and everything you said. And I like walk away from talking with you and I'm like, fuck, I want to go back and continue talking to him. And he was like, I'm so glad you said that. I feel the exact same way. And so I think that's what made it more emotional too, is that we did have that conversation where we established like, yeah, we could couple up, like if it happens. So I think that's what brought the tears out more, where it was like, oh fuck, like,
No, it makes a lot of sense because obviously we don't see every conversation that happens. And it seems that you guys really connected fast and had a lot in common. And we're pretty like gung ho for each other. So it was unfortunate to see you leave. Like, we were not happy.
But then, I mean, not to switch things up on you, but we had our interview with Chazz.
Right.
He mentioned
the party in the hotel.
Yeah.
Of course he did.
Of course he did.
So yeah, I'll touch base on that as well, because I did hear him. I did hear a podcast where he did say that, and I was like, okay. Yeah, so when we left, obviously it was like me and Chazz, in a van, and we were just like talking, and we got out of the van back at the hotel, and I, in my head, was just like very vulnerable and overthinking, and I was like, what is even going on? I can't even believe I'm out of there already. And I was saying bye to him, and it just like felt like, I guess, surreal to me that we went in together and that we went out together. And I think, everything that's happened, I'm grateful that he even picked me to go in, because I wouldn't even be in there if it wasn't for him. And yeah, we did share a couple of kisses. We did. I was like, oh, goodbye, like kisses. And I went back to my room and he went back to his, and, Shawnce ended up coming to my room, and we were talking, and then Chazz ended up coming to my room in the middle of that. And we were all just like, it was like 3 a.m, and we're like, wow, we don't want to be alone. Let's just watch a movie. Let's watch The Butterfly Effects. Like, let's watch something.
Not that movie.
Yeah, what?
After this out-of-body experience, you're going to watch that movie?
Yeah,
I know,
right?
like, what?
It was Shawnce's pick. I don't know. I mean, she was like, this is a great fucking movie. And Chazz was like, yeah, let's watch it. And I was just like,
oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I'm just here. I'm just here marinating in my own thoughts. You watch whatever you want to watch. But yeah, we all, we spent the night together. We chilled and talked about the whole experience and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, I'm dead that he said like there's still an opening for us.
Yeah, so there's no Chazz in the future, correct?
not to sound like a dick, but no. I mean, like I respect him and love him as a person, but I have not spoken to him since I've been home. I mean, like we shared those kisses, we talked, and then I have not heard from him since then. So yeah, so I'm like, when I heard that, I was like, sir, I don't even know what you ate for breakfast this morning. Like, where have you been? But yeah, no, I have nothing but love and respect for him, and he's great and everything. And, our connection was good, but I just, I had a stronger connection with Joel, and you can't help how your heart feels and how you feel for certain people. But yeah, it was funny that night. I mean, I definitely I'm not going to lie, was upset that I left Joel. Like, I don't want anyone to hear that and think
no.
So
no, no, I know what you mean.
But yeah, emotions.
I don't think anyone would think that.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll reach out to Joel when he leaves the villa? Or is he going to depend on if he's single or not?
It really would depend. I mean, I've been watching. I watched last night's episode and how everything went down. I mean, I don't know. If he forms a really good connection and seems genuinely happy, I think I might not touch it with a 10-foot pole. But I mean, if I don't know. I don't know who will reach out to who. I don't know if I'll reach out to him first, if he'll reach out to me. It's, it's very up in the air. But I mean, I definitely would be very happy if I heard from him when he left. But
you're in Jersey, right?
I'm in New York.
New York. Okay. So you're not that far from Boston.
You're not that far.
I'm not. Yeah. It's a ferry ride away.
You know what? I just remembered this and I just have to say it.
Sure.
When you guys were having a talk, he called himself a masshole.
Oh, I died at that.
Did you die?
Who? Joel?
Yeah.
Called himself an asshole?
A masshole.
A masshole. Oh. I don't know. Maybe that flew right over my head. Oh, yeah. No, I think it literally flew over my head. I don't know.
You were liking him too much. That's fair.
Yeah. I think it flew.
The horse blinders were on.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I think it completely went zoop right over there. Hysterical.
Who were your best friends in the villa? Do top girls and top guys.
Top girls, top guys. I'd say I definitely, girl-wise, was closest with Phoebe and Chazz just because we were in Casa together. Me and Chazz, we walked in together and walked out together. But yeah, I definitely was closest with them too. All the other girls as well. Deb was amazing. Zeta was amazing. Courtney was the sweetest. Boys, I'd say probably Jesse, Timmy. I got to really know Timmy. We're both from New York. He's just such a great person and so funny to talk to, hysterical. Who else? I'm blanking. Jared is sick too. I just love the way his mind works. He's just very open, very good conversationalist. And yeah, just everyone, man. Jeff is just the funniest fucking human being I think I've ever met in my life. He's just so funny and just not even when he's not even trying to be, just the things that come out of his mouth. And he would always just be like, Bella Stella, whenever I would say hi to him. Yeah, he's great. But they all I can't even pick. They all were just so amazing in their own unique ways. And I already miss them so much. It's crazy.
Friends for life.
I love that.
Friends for life. Besties for life.
But for everyone listening, where can they find you on social media? What's next for you? What do you got going on?
Yeah, so you can follow me on my social medias. They're all just Bella Barbaro. I'm a singer-songwriter, so I do make music. I sing. I have some music that's out on Apple Music and Spotify if you would like to check it out. So I do.
Wow, we will.
I do want to focus on my music career. I've been singing since I was very little, so it's always been in my life. I also model, and whatever comes out of this, whatever comes thrown my way, I'm going to take it with, a lot of gratefulness, and I'm very excited to see what possible doors can open for me from this opportunity. And yeah, I'm just grateful for the whole experience as a whole, and happy that everyone's tweeting justice for Bella.
Oh my God.
Is all I can say.
On that note, justice for Bella. This video. Go follow Bella on Instagram and all social medias. And we're going to try to put, I know we have this capability. We're going to try to put one of your Spotify songs in the beginning before the episode starts.
That would be cute.
That'd be awesome.
Okay, cool.
Oh, well,
cool.
Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for listening.
Oh, thank you for having me. I had so much fun.
Meet you in real life soon.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. Espresso martinis.
Get out to LA.
We're going out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sure.
Yeah. So nice to meet you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.